Good morning. Thank you for being patient with us. We had a couple technical difficulties, but now we are rolling. So wherever you are, go ahead and get comfortable on your mat, or if you don't have a mat today, just find space in your home and really own that space in this moment. So to start, just settle in. So begin to either lower the lids or you can close the eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow comfort and softness just to settle into the body. Begin to just be aware of your breathing and where you're feeling it. You don't necessarily need to change anything, just kind of take this time to be investigative and to notice. And to really feel the sit bones as they're anchored into the earth. See if you can't reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling, finding length between each vertebrae and the spine on the back side of the body. Keeping the rib cage hugged in without lifting, just finding that length on the back side. And then again, just noticing the breath. Noticing where you may be holding any tension. Right now there's a lot of uncertainty and change and things are shifting constantly, and kind of be aware of where you hold on to that tension, whether it's in the jaw or the shoulders. For some of us, we hold all of our stress in the belly, but allow those spaces to just soften and just allow the breath to come and to be natural. We'll sit here just connecting, tuning in before we begin to move. To just blink the eyes open. Become familiar with your surroundings and where you are. And to start, just reach the hands down towards the floor. Keep that length in the spine. Some of you, your fingertips may touch the floor. Just continue to keep the arms active and reaching down into the earth. Take the right ear and just bring it close to the right shoulder, just stretching out that left side of the neck. Actively engaged, reaching the fingers towards the floor, maybe the palms towards the floor, so that you can feel that lengthening through that left side. And watching the breath there as well. Is it catching or is it still smooth? Trying to create smooth, even breaths. Bringing the head right back to neutral on the spine, and this time bending left ear towards left shoulder. Reaching right hand towards the floor, still keeping shoulders soft, just feeling that stretch now on the opposite side, right side of the body. And bring the head back to neutral. You can soften through the arms. Take a moment just to do a few little neck rolls, nothing too extravagant. Maybe imagine a pen is just glued to the nose and you're writing circles in front of you. Take 3 circles more, one direction, and then switch that, go the opposite direction. Let's take 4 circles the opposite direction. And then they allow the head to be neutral. Just rolling the shoulders, shrug them up towards the ears, roll them back and down. 3 more shoulder rolls backwards. And then roll shoulders forwards, up towards the ears, roll the shoulders forward. Trying to move with the breath. Maybe rolling out, you might be feeling that grizzliness in the shoulders. Just allow that to be and soften. And then go ahead, just bring the palms of the hands towards the front of the mat. We're going to come to tabletop, so whatever way you can get there easily, safely, come to tabletop pose. So you'll see here we're going to stack wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Head is facing the top of the mat. Working through a few cat-cows here. So cow pose, the breastbone comes forward between the biceps, the tailbone broadens, and the belly goes low towards the floor. As you breathe out, round through the spine, arch it like a rainbow, tuck the chin in towards the chest. And we'll work through a few more of those on your own. Cow pose, chest forward, tailbone broadens, belly low. Cat pose, chin comes into chest, spine rounds, hug the belly up towards the ceiling, press the hands into the earth to create more space between the shoulder blades. 2 more breaths on your own, moving and breathing at your own pace. And just finding that tabletop pose and neutral spine again. Go ahead, engage through the core, really anchor into the left hand. We're gonna reach the right hand forward towards the top of the mat. Step the left toes to touch the back of the mat, and you can hold here or begin to lift that left leg up. I know you can't see yourself, but try and get heel in line with your glute. Just hold and hover, keep the core engaged. We're just warming that center up. On the next breath out, round through the spine and tuck the elbow and knee under the body. Then as you breathe in, lengthen and extend the limbs opposite directions from one another. One more time, round, touch knee to elbow. Find that length again. Then exhale, release to the floor. This time anchoring into the right hand, being strong and secure there. Reach the left fingertips towards the front of the mat. Right toes touch the back, or begin to lift that back heel. Just hold here. Engage through the core, find balance. Keep the hips square, shoulders square. Hug and tuck, knee to elbow under the body. As you breathe in, lengthen through both limbs. Exhale, hug and tuck, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, release everything to the floor. Next, just set up for a plank pose. So really anchor into both hands. This time, step both feet to the back of the mat. Hover in plank. We'll be here for 10 breaths. So notice where the mind is going. If you're counting down those seconds, know that I am not. So these are yoga breaths. You may be here longer than 10 or less. 2 more breaths. And then shift the hips up towards the ceiling, coming into downward facing dog. You can step the feet a little bit closer. And really focus on anchoring the finger pads into the mat and the knuckle ridges of the hands. So right where the fingers meet the palm. That way you take pressure off of the wrist. Looking down at the ankles, notice if there are creases in your ankles or if the skin is smooth and flat. Begin to bend the knees as much as you need to create smooth skin. Tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And breathe, hold here. Maybe shake the head yes and no, let go of tension that may be coming up. Then begin to walk the toes all the way up towards the wrists. Coming into a forward fold, go ahead, grab opposite elbows. Maybe ragdoll side to side, or just shake the head yes and no again. Find what feels good. Slight bend in the knees. And then slowly roll your way all the way up to a stand. And to sweep the arms around and up, allow the right hand to grab left wrist. And then keeping length in both sides of the body, just side bend off to the right. And tucking the tailbone slightly. Allow the belly to be tight. Tailbone long. Inhale up to center, flip that grip on the wrist. Pull off this time, side bending to the left. You're focusing on keeping the shoulders broad through the chest. Sometimes it helps me to look up at the ceiling. That helps keep that right shoulder back. Inhale up to center. And just cactus or goalpost the arms. Take a slight bend in the knees. And take a mini back bend here or just hold. The option is yours. Begin to just rotate so that the chest reaches up towards the ceiling. Hold for 2 breaths. And then calm all the way up into a stand. Bring palms together and let them rest at heart center. This time hinging at the waist, we're just going to leave with our hands with our heart center as we fold forward. Release the hands all the way to the floor, deep bend in the knees to do so, and then step the feet to the back of the mat, coming into a plank pose. Option is always to drop down to knees here as well. Bend the elbows, allow the whole body to come in contact with the floor. Straighten the legs, the tops of the feet are on the floor, and then press the hands away from the floor, upward facing dog. Then begin to roll over the toes, hips come high, downward facing dog. Taking just a couple of breaths here, then inhale to look between the hands. That's the destination for our feet. Begin to walk or hop the feet to the top of the mat. Allow the fingertips to come to the top of the shins, create a number 7 with the body. So allow the back to be long and strong. No curving or rounding. If the fingers need to come up above the knees, that's fine too. And lengthen the spine here. Exhale, fold forward. And on an in-breath, sweep the arms around and up as you come up to stand. Taking those side bends again, right hand grabs left wrist. Inhale up to center. Flip that grip, bend off to the left. Inhale back up to center. Cactusing of the arms, you can hold here, take that back bend. All the way back up to center. Hands to heart center and hinge at the waist, fold forward. Again, create that number 7, find length in the spine, monkey pose. Exhale, hands to the floor, feet step to the back from high plank, body all the way down to the floor, then pressing up, upward facing dog. Roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Last time, all the way through. The gaze goes between the hands. On an exhale, you can bring both feet towards the top of the mat. Find length in that monkey pose, that figure 7 shape with the body. Exhale, fold. Sweep arms around and up. Moving with your breath, work through those side bends. Right side, left side, and then slight back bend here. Inhale, both arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Stay standing here. Just reconnect with the breath. Next, we're going to step sideways on the mat. So take your right or left foot, doesn't matter which one, and step to the side. The heels will be pointing in towards the center line, toes to the outer edges of the mat, and then sink down into our squat. So hips come low. Just hold here, breathe, take 5 counts of breath. Keep the chest lifted, tailbone long. And then look at those knees. Make sure they are pointing towards your second and third toes, that they're not like knocking in here, that they're out. Go ahead, lift the right heel off the floor. Keep the hips low. Just keep breathing. Engage the calves. Flex those muscles. Exhale that foot to the floor. Left heel lifts, hold here. Engage the core, keep the left heel lifted, and then lift the right heel as well. So both heels are lifted. Knees are still pressing out towards those second and third toes. Keep breathing. Keep the heels lifted. Maybe find something to gaze at in front of you to help you hold this space. Exhale, both feet down. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms, 5-pointed star. I'm going to come back to the side of the mat, meet you guys there. From there, we're just going to shift our feet. So on the foot that's behind you, point those toes towards the center. So they're going to be at a 45-degree angle. Your forward toes will point towards the top of your mat for warrior feet here. Bend deep in that forward knee. Same arm reaches into a T posture of the body for warrior 2. I'm on my left side, so if you're following me, your left knee is forward. Holding here, again looking at this forward knee, making sure it's tracking over the second and third toe. And then exhale, left elbow to left knee, right arm will reach up towards the ceiling for side angle. Hold here. In the next movement, see if you can't keep the legs exactly as they are without moving them. So legs stay strong, but the top of the body is going to shift. So right arm will reach up, it begins to reach back. And then take that left hand and imagine you're holding a beach ball between your hands. Wish we were all at the beach right now. And then we're going to bring that beach ball and reach it towards the front of the room. So your arm is parallel to your thigh in front. Reach it back. then forward again. One more of these, really using the obliques here. And then back to warrior two, that starting pose. Great job. Now we're going to reach with the left fingertips towards the front of your mat, straighten both legs, and put pressure into the feet equally. Fingertips are going to come down. They can rest right on the shin above the knee, or they can begin to crawl their way down towards the floor for a triangle pose. The purpose of this posture, really want to open up through the shoulders. So if you notice like your right shoulder starting to round, bring the left arm up so that you can get the shoulders to stack on top of one another. Hold here, just breathe. Exhale that right hand down to the floor. Take a deep bend in the right knee, back heel lifts for a runner's lunge. Squaring the hips to the floor, back thigh is active and lifted, engaged behind you. Right hand plants to the floor, left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Find a twist as you press into that right hand. Exhale, left hand down. We're just gonna frame that foot in front of you with your fingers. And with that back knee, we're gonna tap the mat 3 times. So tap down, lift up, 2, 1. Fantastic. Now bring all of the hands inside towards the big toe edge, and we're going to shift all the weight. So the toes are going to face the side of the mat, the hips are going to come low, chest high, and allow that back leg to sit this way. So the knee will point up towards the ceiling and your toes point up towards the ceiling. Just stay here, breathe a few moments. It's fine if you're up higher like this. Meet your body just exactly where it is. And allow those inner thighs to get some length and opening. If your hands are heart center, go ahead, release them to the floor. We're going to just shift that pose to the back of the mat. So hips come high, anchor into the left foot. Right foot lifts up, points towards the ceiling. Hands can be at heart center or on the floor. Breathing through that stretch. Exhale, release fingertips to the floor. We're going to shift back to the front of the mat and then the back again. So same posture, front of the mat, moving back to the back of the mat. This time at the back of the mat, fingertips come to the floor. Begin to walk the fingers towards the back of the mat. All 10 toes now face the back of the mat, coming into that runner's lunge. Anchor the left hand down. Twist the right hand up towards the ceiling for that twist. Squaring of the hips. Just breathe here. The gaze can be up at the hand that's reaching towards the ceiling or down at the floor. Exhale, frame that right foot with the fingers and take those 3 taps with that left knee behind you to the floor. 1, 2, 3. Back to that lunge. Go ahead, bring the fingers towards the inside of the big toes, straighten both legs, pivot the back heel down. So again, back to those warrior feet. And if it feels good, just shorten the stance by bringing the back leg in. Left hand stays down towards the floor, right hand reaches up towards the ceiling for triangle pose, this time at the back. Again, being aware you can move that left hand up your shin or your thigh. Use your body as a prop today. And keep breathing. Allow the fingers to be light on the body or on the floor if they're touching, really activating the legs. 2 more breaths here. And then take a deep bend in that right knee. Torso comes up to warrior 2. Tee the arms, right arm in front, left arm in back. Check in with that right knee, make sure it's tracking over the second and third or the third and fourth toe. This time right elbow comes to right thigh. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling, side angle. Again, staying steady in the legs. Reach the left hand up, 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 and then begin to reach it back as the torso comes with it. Use that right hand to hold our imaginary beach ball. Reach the beach ball towards the front of the mat. And back. Again, front and back. One more time. Front and back, back to that warrior 2. Arms at a T. Great, from here, come to the center of the mat, star pose. We've done this before, both legs straighten. Bring the heels in towards the center, the toes point out. Hands to heart center, sink into that goddess pose. Really smoothing out the breath. Breathing in and out. Trying to keep that breath cyclical and moving smoothly. Inhale, the right heel comes up off the floor. Stay in that squat. See if you can keep the hips exactly as they are, even though we're moving the feet. Exhale, right heel down. Left heel lifts, hold. Engage through the core. Lift the right heel up. Both heels are lifted. And you're still breathing. And your legs might be shaking. And if you come out of this pose, that's fine. Just come back in when you're ready. Exhale, both heels to the floor. Inhale, standing all the way up. 5-pointed star again. And then stepping to the top of the mat. All right, we created some heat, so now let's use it, yeah? Go ahead, sit back. The hips are gonna come back, arms come up, chair pose. Low belly hugs in, slight tuck of the tail so the booty's not popped back. Just hang out here. Feet can be either toes touching with 1-inch gap between the heels, or you can step them hip distance apart. Find what feels good in your body today. Hold here. Yeah. I know our legs are definitely feeling this. So even though they might be jumping and panicking, see if you can't smooth them and calm them with the breath. On an inhale, we're going to stand up. The right knee will come in front of the body with us. And then exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to begin to press that right leg to the back of the room. The chest becomes parallel with the floor, airplane pose. Flex through that back foot. Keep the right hip in line with the left. A lot of times we let it float open. See if you can't pull it so the hips are square to the earth. It is helpful to find something to look at on the floor. Hold here. Say thank you to that left leg. And then as you inhale up, come right back. Bring the right knee in front of the body with you. This time cross right ankle over left knee. Flex through that foot, hands to heart center. And sit back into a figure 4 squat. Holding here. See if you can find that place of stillness under all the quaking of that left leg. Inhale the right knee up as we come up to stand again. Whoop. This time take the right knee and we're going to place it behind the left as the left leg bends for a Shiva squat. Right toes are off the floor and we're going to tap them to the back of your mat 3 times. So 1, then bring the knee behind the left again. 2, 3, back to chair pose. Whew, good work. We've got 2 sides of our body though, so we're going again on the left side. Inhale, left knee up as you come up to stand. Right leg is now balancing, supporting the body. Hands to heart center. Press that left foot back. Chest comes parallel to the floor. Square the hips to the floor. Breathe. Wobble. Fall. Come back in. Stay steady in your commitment to follow through on this practice. Inhale, arms up. Knee comes up. This time cross left knee over right. Flex through that left foot, sit the hips back. Figure 4 squat, hold here. Inhale, arms up, that knee comes with us. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left knee touches behind the right, right knee bends. Hold here, Shiva squat. And then we're going to tap left toes to the back of the mat. 1, to the back of the knee. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Back to chair pose. You can keep hands at heart center or reach the arms up. Stay here, just sink in. I know the legs are dying. Find the breath. Inhale, stand all the way up, bring palms to touch and create a banana shape as you bend backwards with the body. Exhale, fold forward, leading with the heart. Shake the head, yes and no, great job. Plant the hands to the top of the mat, step the feet to the back to a plank posture. This time come down onto the left forearm, then right forearm. Holding this plank pose, we'll take 10 breaths again. This is kind of the bookend, sealing our practice here, these plank holds. Exhale, release knees to the floor. Shift the hips to the back of the mat. Child's pose. Go ahead and walk the fingertips all the way over to the left side and off of your mat. Sink the right hips down and in towards the floor. Take that side stretch all on the right side. And begin to walk the fingers back towards the center. We're going to walk this time all the way over to the left. The left hip is going to sink down towards the floor. Take that side stretch on the left side. And then hands back to center. Go ahead, walk the hands back in towards the knees. Come to a seated position, and then however you'd like to get there, make your way so that the back is on your mat and your knees are pointing up, soles of the feet are on the floor. Great. From here, cross right ankle over left knee. We're going to take a supine pigeon pose. Right knee presses down. Hug the left knee in towards the chest. Interlacing the fingers either behind the thighs or around the shin. Hug that left knee in towards the chest. And just hold and breathe here. Maybe flexing through that right foot. Keeping the body engaged here even as we're cooling down. Allowing the breath to still stay smooth. And then begin to release that left foot to the floor. Uncross that right ankle. Right foot comes to the floor. This time left ankle crosses over right knee. Hug the right knee in towards the chest. Find that interlacing of the fingers either at the shin or behind the right thigh. Flex through the left foot. And then hug that knee in towards the chest. Go ahead and release that right foot to the floor. Hug the left knee in towards the chest. Straighten the right leg. With the right hand, grab the left knee, tee the left arm out towards the side, pull the right knee over the body. The gaze can go over your extended arm for a twist here. Really softening with each breath into this twist. Allowing the floor to support the body, allowing the breath to support the body. Bring everything back to center. Hug the right knee in. Both knees are hugged in towards the chest. Just rock side to side. Keep both hands now on the right leg. The left leg extends. Right arm tees out to the side of the body. Left hand pulls the right knee over to the left side. Gaze can be at your right arm or towards the ceiling. Find what feels comfortable in your body today. come back to the center, hugging both knees in towards the chest again, taking small circles. If you only did one direction last time, do the opposite direction. And then getting ready for our final resting pose. Allow both legs to become long on the floor or on your mat. Maybe shift in the shoulders so that the palms can face upward. Taking these last moments of silence, taking this opportunity to intentionally do nothing but breathe and be. Here is where I will leave you. You can stay in this Shavasana should you need to stay longer than when we wrap up. Feel free to do so. The light in me sees the light in you. It bows to that light and it is grateful for this connection that we can make over technology. Our energy still flows. Namaste.